and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. Welcome. We got a great show for you tonight, as always. And I got Courtney from Stars of the Morning Light. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Whatever we're going to talk about, I'm thrilled.
You always got such great knowledge, everything from the Emerald Tablets to the Akashic Records. I do want to ask you a little bit on the Akashic Records today, but no, we're going to go into the Christmas thing right away. As you can see, it's cold out back of me here, and it's cold, and winter's upon us, and we went from the Thanksgiving season to the winter solstice season, the season of how would I say, thought forms of that we've given power to. We also have different traditions that are celebrated at this time of year, as in Christmas, with giving thanks and giving presents and putting up a Christmas tree and lights. Yeah. And most of us have no idea where they came from.
That's true. Yeah.
And then we have our own traditions. And, everybody has their own traditions. And tonight we're going to ask you about what maybe some of your traditions are. And what do you do for Christmas? And, what do you know about Christmas? And maybe we can work through this and tell people what is it about in your eyes or your life? And then I'll give you a little bit of mine, and we'll get through this.
Yeah, we'll share. Robert, I want to say, the question, hey, what's one of your family traditions at Christmas time? That is awesome for awkward parties. Like if you happen to be at a business gathering, or you got to go to a party because it's your husband or partner's work or whatever, and you don't know anybody, that's an awesome question, because everybody can answer it, because everybody's family has their own kind of thing they do. And it's safe, and it gets conversation kind of going, sharing. I've used that now at awkward gatherings at the holidays for 6 or 7 years, and it's good. It looks like you're participating, but it's not like you gotta, Yeah. So I'm just throwing that out there, guys. If you need some kind of topic to talk about and you don't want to get into all the heavy, ask people what their traditions are. Yeah.
Well, and you're right, because you don't know if they're Jewish and they're celebrating,
Hanukkah,
and then there's what's the one with the black Santa guy? I can't remember what they call that, but anyway,
Kwanzaa.
Yeah, Kwanzaa. Sounds like what's up, Kwanzaa.
Well, so anyway, Robert, you brought up the solstice and how we're going into the darkness, and that's also been represented as the crone stage. So I if you follow moon stuff, I don't mind the winter, the darkness, because we have Yule right in there, and Yule's my favorite because it is that representation that the light is always present. It's the representation that the light will come back, the sun will shine. Mm-hmm. And that is actually for all cultures and traditions right now. It's the light. So with Kwanzaa, it's a lot of beautiful colors and light. Mm-hmm. Very, very vibrant and lovely. With the Jews, it's Hanukkah, it's the menorah light. That's the light of them walking through the wilderness. Mm-hmm. For us, it's S-U-N, sun, that became son, S-O-N, Christ. Mm-hmm. So, it's all a representation that light is forever present. And so I think that's why I love it so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we have it just reminds us of that without the light, nothing grows. Because it's a time of season to me that makes me thankful for the light because of the darkness. Yes. And though I enjoy the darkness, I know that I can't survive in the darkness for very long without the light. And that's a renewal. I know that after those 3 days, it will start getting lighter every day after that, and pretty rapidly, amazingly. Yeah, pretty rapidly. And it just seems like the longest days. And but it feels good. It feels like I'm hibernating. I go to bed earlier now that the sun goes down, and I feel well rested. And you know, as for traditions, you know, when I was a kid, we put up a tree. I don't really do that anymore, being by myself.
Oh, so
You know,
I'm cutting you off right now, Robert. I
oh,
know a lot of single men who don't even bother to put up a tree. And
mhm.
it is in all the loving advice that you don't want right now. I'm saying, please do a little something. It makes such a big difference. It really does. Just think about it. Just think
Oh
about it.
yeah. Well, it ain't that I'm against it. You know, I just don't have much room in the house. And
I know.
you know, and then the thing is for a tree, I know I have like a little, you know, at one time I had a little tree. It was about yay big, and you know, whatever, and I'd set that up in a flower pot somewhere, and it was a
Huh.
fake one,
That's,
but you know, it is what
that's
it is.
all you need. It really actually does make a difference. I did not know that until I had to experience it for myself.
Mhm.
I was living alone and I was having a really rough go. I mean, addiction was wild, all sorts of stuff was wild. And my mom, when I was sleeping one night, came in, I guess, because we weren't living together, came in, she had a key, and set up like this little baby tree, and the lights were going when I woke up, and it like just started bawling because we need to do things like that. Even if we're single and living alone, or we don't have the mental and emotional support within us,
Mhm.
we can physically still make it that, okay, I'm doing this. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm going to get out of it. And then when we do it,
Mhm.
even if it's just a small little thing, we don't know until we know. And so I know a lot of people right now, they're like, oh, I'm just not going to even bother. And it's like, no, 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 no.
Mhm.
You can bother with a $30 for a
Yeah.
tree. You can bother with something small, because having just that feeling of remembrance of traditions when you were young, of hope because of the light coming off of it, all of it.
Mhm.
I'm a full supporter of, even when we're not in a good mental or emotional state, to
Mhm.
do the actions that can benefit us, you know?
Yeah, yeah, because it is a time of believe it or not, depression.
Yeah.
Depression is at the happiest point of the year it's supposed to be. Is also the time of the year when we're most depressed. Why is that? That makes no sense. It's but but you're right, because we're alone, we're being neglected, or it's
Yeah.
shorter days or something.
Yeah. Just
Uh,
all of it. Yeah.
People get depressed. Well, I spent too much money, or
Yeah.
I didn't get anything that I wanted. And it's not about getting the gifts, it's about giving the gifts.
Yes.
You know, it's about, and you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. You know, give something from the heart.
Yeah.
You know, make some cookies or something.
Quality time.
Quality time,
Yeah.
yes. Send somebody
Yeah.
a letter that you
Yeah.
haven't sent in a long time. Buy a cheap pack of Christmas cards and
Yeah.
send them out.
Yeah.
You know, most people can afford that yet.
Yeah. I had to do that with a lot of people this year. I said, I just texted them. I said, you guys aren't getting anything. I'm definitely going to send you a card. And everyone texted back and they said, oh, Courtney, that's fine. It's your cards that we love anyways.
Mhm.
So sorry, the dog's barking.
Sorry.
Might be a delivery, all the delivery trucks.
Mhm.
um I was actually thinking about that, Robert, when if we talk traditions. The other night I was thinking it might be really rough on people, because this might be the first year that they can't financially do what they always had done.
Mhm. Yeah.
and and I completely understand that, and I completely understand the difficulty around kind of wrapping our heads around that, and hopefully not shaming ourselves. We tend to feel guilty then,
Mhm.
if we can't do a certain tradition or give the way that we want to give or supposedly have always have.
Mhm.
And it's just where everyone is. And
Mm-hmm.
so I love how you're talking about little things. And also, maybe it's a time to start new traditions.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Um, I'm not. I don't do much volunteering because I don't have much time. But I'm not against anybody doing the volunteering either. And I'm saying is that's the thing that people should do.
Yeah.
If that suits you, go out and volunteer for something, or if nothing else, send a Christmas card. You're right. Start your own tradition. Maybe it's going for a walk on Christmas Day or something, or maybe
Right.
maybe do something cheap like you said, buy a candle and light a candle, I think you were mentioning something about a candle
Yeah.
earlier.
About 6 or 7 years ago, I started, because I love Yule, of course.
Hmm.
This is my Yule candle. It's my beautiful, lovely candle. Um, I light this every year on Yule, and I just sit and I let the candle burn, and it's as if I'm lighting it in representation of all of my family and friends and loved ones.
Hmm.
And I just sit and, like Robert, you're going to be there. You're going to be a part of my stream of consciousness, and I'll, Robert V, and I'll just send you positive thoughts. If we talk so much about thought forms, then why don't we create positive ones?
That's
You
right.
know, and you don't necessarily need permission for someone else to just send positive thoughts. It's not the same as like healing energy or what have you. Positive thoughts of, I hope, the 2023 is going to be the most prosperous, wonderful year for Robert V. It's just sending people that, and trust me, I sit for hours. It's a thing. And sometimes I have to take a break now that my life is kind of expanded, and then go back to it. But it's that day, it's that representation of hope, of belief, of faith, of light. And if I'm capable of just sitting and knowing the power of thought,
Hmm.
well, then I'm going to share that power with everyone.
Hmm. Oh
And
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
something you can do. That's
Yeah.
not, I mean, it doesn't cost you anything.
Hmm. Yeah, it brings happiness. Who doesn't like to have a candle burning? I mean, it's
Yeah.
one of those things, but keep it safe though. But
Yeah.
the point is candles aren't expensive. Most everybody either has one, or you can purchase them for under $5, and they last a long time, and you
Yeah.
use them for other things. But the biggest thing is just starting your own tradition. When I was a kid, we didn't have much, but I'd go out, cut a tree down out in the woods, and then I'd bring it in, and then we would make those little ring things, out of paper,
Yeah. Yeah.
and put them up. And I had strings of them around, and we had a few lights, but half of them were always burnt out, and lights seemed to be expensive, and
Well, they used to be the glass ones, right?
yeah,
So
those
yeah,
are the
when
ones
they
we had.
burned out, it was expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, the big glass ones. And we would put other things on the tree to decorate it and tinsel it. Oh boy, get some tinsel on there and it looked real good. But yeah, we had a nice looking tree in the end. We just keep putting more making decorations out of eggshells and painting them
Yeah.
and putting them up
Yeah.
there on a hook, or
Yeah.
a string or something. And yeah, it was just cool stuff. But
Yeah.
homemade was better made.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree. Robert, so I have a question. Do you
Yeah.
guys, growing up, did you do Christmas dinner?
Yeah, during Christmas Day, yeah, we had Christmas dinner on Christmas Day, and then as I got older, we started opening a few presents. We got to open like one or two presents, or usually one. We picked one Christmas night, and then Christmas morning, then
Yeah.
we'd open everything up. So
Yeah.
kind of one
See,
of
my
those.
family, we didn't do Christmas dinner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can change it up whenever you want. So, like, in my family, growing up, we didn't really have sweets in the house and like goodies and stuff. I mean, you just didn't.
Yeah.
And most families didn't at that time. Um, so at Christmas, like Christmas Eve
Hmm.
was pretty much everything I shouldn't say everything, but like the parents would ask, okay, the one thing that you wish you could eat during the year that we don't pay for,
Uh-huh.
What are you gonna have? And there'll be years I'm like hot dogs, not thinking like, because I'm a little kid. But that's what we still do. Christmas Eve is just like a hodgepodge of snacks. And I might make a big bowl of like soup, like a big pot of soup, just to sustain people. But then it's just like all the stuff that you really probably shouldn't eat through the year. Sure, it's there. Eat
Yeah.
it. It's Christmas. What the heck? And then we do a Christmas brunch. We do, the next day we don't do Christmas dinner. We do, the eggs, bacon, the pancakes, hash browns, Christmas brunch. There you go. So then by Christmas at like 2:00, you're all done. You're just, kids are done playing or doing whatever. Everybody can take a nap. Like, done. So that is an option as well, which I gotta tell you guys, it's fun. It's
Mhm.
easy. Why do I want to sit around and make food all day on Christmas? I just did that on Thanksgiving. So it's easy to just, throw some potato chips on and everybody can just do as they please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an option. And, pancakes are cheap. Not the egg, not the eggs, but you can throw stuff in the mix that if you can't get a big turkey roast or a big Thanksgiving, Christmas roast or whatever, that's okay. It's not, you can change it up and people are still happy,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree totally. We, I got to hand it to my mother. She worked hard.
Yeah.
We would have Thanksgiving, big dinner, uh, Christmas. Oh my gosh, pies and everything she'd bake,
Yeah.
and turkey or ham, one or the other. And man, we had a meal usually around 1, 2 o'clock. That's when our dinner would
Yeah.
come, and oh boy, go get grandma, and grandma would come over, and whoever else came, but and we'd have everything. Oh man, just a table full of food. So
Yeah.
much
See,
we couldn't eat.
we stayed in our pajamas for like 2 days.
Oh wow.
That's
And
what
then
we did. Like we got into our pajamas on Christmas Eve night, and who knows, we might still be in them by when we go to bed the next night.
yeah.
That's what our family was more. Let's because you are the idea was you already have to go here and go there and see family here and do all over the place. That on Christmas Eve night and Christmas Day, it was just the immediate, no expectations.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, and
And
your
then
mom
New Year's.
sure busted her butt.
Oh yeah, we
See,
did
and
the
that's
same on New Year's too. We had a big meal and all of that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That now as a woman, I'm thinking, man, I would have I would have called it at some point. But see, the point is that like I had friends that called me to just talk around Thanksgiving and they couldn't support the full meal financially. And they were beating themselves up about it. Like they just felt so bad. And it's just not that time right now.
Yeah.
Not saying that we won't ever again, but maybe it is time to focus more on the light and quality time and the representation of what we do have instead of the feeling and, focusing on the lack.
Yeah. Don't focus on the lack.
Yeah.
This is definitely not the year to focus on the lack. You figure on what you got and how thankful you are for what you got. And that will empower you to have more in the future and besides, it won't make you depressed. I mean, you shouldn't be depressed because you're alive, you're well, you're here on earth and you're doing your thing. I mean, if you got a little food in your belly, be thankful. And that's, like you said, if it's hot dogs, maybe that's your favorite food, new tradition.
Yeah, chili dogs. Shoot. Do you know what I would give? Because I'm from Chicago and I live in the South now. Do you know what I would give for a traditional Chicago hot dog? Yeah, that I'm telling you, sometimes just a hot dog is like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't find that down here. but it's stuff like that. Robert, I will say it is a lot because of the darkness. It is. I mean, even the past, I'm in northern Georgia. The past, I don't know how many days now, it has just been overcast and rain.
Yeah.
There has not been a sun in sight. So by this morning, I woke up going, okay, at least it's not raining. I'm going to take my dog to the park and I'm going to meditate for myself today. I'm not doing any work for anybody else. I'm going to meditate for myself today so I could tap into my own light because it was starting to wear on me. If I don't see the sun, this is why I moved out of Northern Illinois. You know, if I don't have the sun, it really does start taking its toll, but I can also tap into my inner light, you know, which we all have. So really at Christmas, it's supposed to be light sharing light and connecting that way, representing the light of the world. We are the light of the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. And so much, it's, light cheers you up. I know, like out here, we get so many sunny days. And even when it's cloudy for more than a day, it's depressing because it's always sunny. I mean, very few clouds in the sky. And so you get used to that sun and the brightness and then all of a sudden it's cloudy and you're like, I notice my mood just goes right down the hill.
In other parts of, you know, the world, Seattle, the UK, you know, all these parts that it's like, wow, it rains that much. Wow, is that cloudy that much? I just, my mind is, I always think, you know, I couldn't do it. I mean, they're used to it and that's fine. And it's what they like and do. But you know, that's why I had to move out of Illinois. Well, not just one of the reasons. It was one of the reasons, let's say. But the winters had gone so bad because it started to be, guys, it could snow in October and then not stop being dark and still snow in like April. That's how bad it was there. And I know you go through a lot of it, but the difference with you, Robert, is that you're on that plane. So the sun does shine. You know, it's a different effect. Man, there's areas that it's, where's the sun? I have no idea. So I can't go too long without it. And thank God I know how I have that light. We are stars. We are suns. We are SUNs, that we have that within us. So this morning I said, I'm going to tap into my own light and just shine because I need to see some because it's been cloudy for like 5 days.
Well, and here's another thing, you know, you notice about getting dark and everything, but that's our natural sleep cycles too. Is so don't be saying I got to stay up to my normal hours. Go to bed early. Just go to bed early. You don't, you know, the sun goes down for a reason and our bodies get tired for a reason. So just go to bed, sleep more. It's a good time of year for that.
And I always say, watch the four-leggeds. They're going to tell you when to go to bed. Mine literally does. Mine literally, if I'm on the couch, like, hey, I'm resting, I'm getting to bed, it will walk behind the couch and stand there. Basically saying, Mom, it's time to go to bed. And he, over time, it's been earlier and earlier and earlier. He's telling me, you're the same as me. Don't think that you're going to stay up late. You know, it's what's supposed to happen. But we fight it because we're programmed to, we work these hours. We do this in the evening. We need this much time to unwind. I need to watch this program at this time. Well, none of that makes any sense because it's not going with the natural law and balance of things. It's not.
That's right. Our laws and balance of how our body functions. It's important to recognize that. But well, this has been really great. You know, I suggest that everybody go out, follow their body on how it functions to the light and dark. Follow their some traditions, make your own traditions. I'm glad we got to share some of your traditions and mine, which, you know, kind of different, very, you know, different. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But go out and do your own traditions, people.
Right.
Start your own traditions. Do something. Find something that fits you, because that's what works. And with that, you got any last words for us on all of this?
Just shine. Know that light is within. And if you are feeling a bit unsettled, you can trust the light. And that's why this season is here, to remind us that it is always present, always taking care of us, regardless if we can see it or not.
I agree.
That'd be my
I
last
agree.
word.
I agree a lot. With that, people, go out, be the frequency you want to receive. Love you all, everybody. Peace, everyone.